All right, good morning, everybody. Today is August 3rd, 2022 already. Now we're in the second half of the year. I can't believe it. It's going so fast. Hopefully everybody's got a lot of good news to share. What are you saying? Oh, yes. Anyway, so tell me what's happened good this week, you guys. Anybody want to share?
I had my first showings. I think that's pretty good.
Yay. I think that's good news. Congratulations, Joe. And where did you get your buyer from?
I got my buyer from an open house from Sarah Lee.
Nice.
Which was very good. And I've shown the buyer 6 properties so far. And it's just been a very good experience. And
that's from the one last weekend. So last
yes.
weekend you had 3 unattached buyers and one is a for sure, like already said, I commit to working with you.
yes.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's what it's all about. What else? What other good news out there? Hello? No good news? All right, we're going to go fast. How about any listings or buyer needs today? Okay, speak up, Linda, so everybody online can hear.
I would love if someone could help me do my open house on Sunday. It's in the Four Seasons in Marietta over by Chaparral, because I have a buyer that property.
Okay, so you guys online, she needs an open house on Sunday for her Four Seasons listing. Okay, and it's gone. Is it gone? Okay, I'm sure there'll be more that come up. Sarah Lee is still, I think she still has one left. She did sell Crystal Lair. So thank you guys. I really appreciate you sharing your listings and your open house opportunities. So anytime you need to have someone hold it, just tell me and I'll blast it out. Any other buyers needs or listings coming up that you guys want to share? All right. This is as good as last week too. All right, so let's talk about the local market. So this week, in the last 7 days, we had 208 new listings come on the market and 213 went into escrow. We're not really building any inventory at this rate. You know, they come online, they get sold. So we sold 161, or we closed 161 in the last week, which is down from the week before by 28. And total Temecula Valley active single family homes were at 1,399. It's only up 30, it's not much. Temecula, the city of Temecula, we have 315 active listings that are coming soon or active. And in Riverside County, we had almost no growth over the week. So 5,209. And this week we had more price changes, 301, where that's 55 more than we had last week. Last week, I think we had like 240 or so. So things are changing out there. We're sliding into the fall season and kids going back to school and things like that. And we had some movement with the interest rates, which I'm going to have Thomas jump on and talk about as soon as I see him. Kim, since I have you here, is there anything that you want to talk about? You have to come up to the speaker.
Me? I have anything to say? Goodness.
Well,
Come on. Thanks, dear. Come on down.
Yay, good morning, Berkshire Hathaway, Temecula, good to see everyone. I wanted to let you know there is an update in your online app, not the mobile app. It hasn't been written for that, but it's really pretty cool. So how many of you know about Prop 19,
Yes.
tax-based transfer? They're in, if you go into the octitle.com, which your login is the same for your mobile device and your desktop version. If you go in and you go under calculators, there is a calculator for Prop 19 and it's so easy. It's super cool. So basically, if you have somebody that wants to transfer their tax base, you go in and you put the sale of the property and the interest rate. Then it takes you to the next section. You put what they paid for their home, what the new price is, and it will literally prorate, tell you exactly what their tax base is going to be, what the payment's going to be. It's pretty cool. So it's called Prop 19 calculator. How simple is that?
That's nice.
So it's in, just so you know, it's www.octitle.com. And then whatever your password and login was for your handheld, your mobile device is the same login for that. Once you get in there, click on calculators. It's at the very bottom. If you have any issues or any questions on it, once you get in, just shoot me a text message and I will call you back and walk you through it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Okay.
Excellent.
Make it any easier.
Can you make it? Yeah, you can't really make it any easier than
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Does it for you.
So I want to remind you guys that I put out the link for the Stephen Thomas event last week. Yes, I sent it twice because one time the link didn't work. I will send it again right after the meeting. We're already more than a third full. We're hoping to get 100 agents. So please, when you get the link, feel free to share it with your realtor friends and invite them too. We just want to get a head count for food and to know if we're going to get too full. Also, again, don't forget that the Reimagine is coming up and Tom Ferry is going to be the keynote speaker. And so for those of you who don't know Tom Ferry, I have a great training video for you right now talking about farming. So give me a second and let me switch over my screen so you guys can watch that. I love Tom Ferry. Okay, so it's kind of an interview with an
And
agent.
today I've got a special guest, Monica Carr, Orange County, California. Listen to this. 61 transactions closed and pending last year, $82 million in volume, coming mostly from her database and her geographic farm. And today, I want to have you bridge the connection between your database and farming because it's all about relationship marketing. So Monica, welcome to the show.
Hey, Tom, how are you? Thanks for having me. What a pleasure.
Oh, Monica, thank you so much. I mean, anyone that's watching right now, if you're on YouTube, you can probably go to another video that Monica did a few years ago that has 720,000 views, where she talked about a little of this farming stuff as well. But Monica, this is a show that's designed to go hard-hitting, fast-paced, snackable. So I want to talk about geographic farming tactically. So the first question I have for you is, how did you select your geographic farm?
So, Tom, it really came from your advice at the very first summit that I attended in 2011. You did a segment about farming and you talked about choosing a farm that had a 6 to 8% turnover.
Yep.
So actually how to be strategic. So I studied the MLS, I looked at the numbers, I looked at the turnover, and I chose the farm based on those numbers. And also another thing that really struck home with me was you said something that was door knockable, something
Yes.
small enough that you could, because sometimes I think if you bite off more than you can chew, it's hard to go deep in the farm. The money doesn't allow you to do that. So
Right.
I picked a small farm in the beginning, 400 homes, a gated community, door knockable, easy to mail to, easy to reach out to people. And I think that's the advice I would give to anybody starting off. Instead of trying to start, because my initial farming tactics when I first got in the business didn't work. I was trying to bite off a much bigger farm, 3,000 homes as a brand new agent, and it just isn't manageable. So picking a farm that's manageable, that has the turnover to sustain the production that you want.
So if you were talking to somebody today and, you and I, talked off camera about how many homes are on the market, or in this case, not on the market, if an agent was looking today to try and select a farm, it's going to be hard for them to see anything with 6 to 8% annual turnover. So what advice would you recommend? Did they go back to historical data, their own transactions? What do you recommend?
Absolutely. In fact, that's what I did when I chose my farm. I didn't just look at the last year. I literally went back 5 years because I wanted to see the trend, because the markets ebb and flow and there's movement. But I think the bigger the picture you have, this year is just so myopic. It'd be a mistake to look at the last 12 months. So you got to go back further.
I love it. Thank you for that great insight. So Monica, today your farm is how large?
So we have 400 homes in that farm. We've adopted an adjacent farm that's 236 homes. And with the prodding of my coach and my broker and you, we are expanding our farms to include some more adjacent areas this year, because we've done the production, we've done almost 2 million in GCI from 636 homes.
That's pretty incredible. So, someone immediately is going to say, what's your average sales price? $1.5 million, 2 million?
1.3 is our average sale price.
Okay.
Last year, it was about $1 million. So that's how fast the market's moved, right? It's obviously carried the prices up.
Right.
But we have farms that are bread and butter for Irvine, California. It's, it was 400 to 600. Now it's 800 to $1 million. And then the higher end in my farm goes beyond 2 million, 2.2, 2.3, up to maybe 2.5. But average is 1.3.
So I appreciate that. So for context, we're going to talk right now for the listener about basically marketing, open houses, community events, ways that you go deeper. But I think it's important for people to understand, first and foremost, what's your market share in these farms? I mean, I know it bounces, year over year because only so many people are moving at a given time, but give us a range of your market dominance.
So, and I think this is very telling. Pre-COVID, we had a market share as high as 78% in our farms, between 57 and 78%. But a lot of our farming is toe-to-toe, face-to-face, events, door knocking. So COVID really put a damper on that. And although we continued with our mailing, I feel like we lost a little bit of touch with the farm. So as soon as last year we were able to put on masks and go in the farm, and the community was craving the events again, and we started doing them, the market share shot up again. And now we're roughly between 35 and 40% market share.
Love it. So I think it's such a great distinction, especially for some of our veteran friends that are maybe listening, like, oh, I used to farm, but then COVID just, I stopped doing all the things that had got me there. So let's talk about those things. So today, it's this sense of like, we're back, and whether we're wearing a mask or gloves or a hazmat suit, like whatever it takes, right? Like making our customers feel comfortable. Talk to us about marketing, open houses, and community events. If I'm living in your farm, tell us all the things that we're going to experience with you in a year.
Okay, so Tom, my biggest thing was creating a sense of community, because I actually moved into the farm. That was my dream at the time, and I lived there. And I did notice that people are very private and they're working hard. They come home from work, they close the garage. So I want to create a sense of community. So what we started doing is we started hosting an ice cream truck in the park. The last Friday of every month, I would pay an ice cream truck to come circle around the park, playing the music like when I was a kid and we used to chase the ice cream truck. And I would put out invitations and door hangers, and we would put magnets out at the beginning of the year with save the date. And those magnets would stay on the fridge all year. And the kids were the ones pulling the parents out of the house to come get free ice cream on Friday after school. And we still do that. We do it every month from March to October. That's one of my favorite events. I've picked up as many as 4 listing appointments standing at the ice cream truck because people know I'm going to be there. So they'll literally wait until an ice cream truck to come tell me they want to sell their house. And then on top of that, we do quarterly events. So we'll do a movie night in the park event, which is a blast. We have face painters and balloon artists, and we sponsor a Disney or a Pixar movie that's family friendly. And we'll do a photo booth, and all of it literally is just to give back and create a sense of community for everybody. We'll have the In-N-Out truck there, and it's all complimentary. I pay for it all. I mean, I'll spend, anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000 on these events. But the reward and the return is priceless, because I get a chance to literally get in, into community with the neighbors, and the kids run up and hug me, and I've got pictures of the same little boy in my farm year over year, and we're doing the back-to-back photo where he's now going to be almost taller than me, and he started out way down here. So I want them to think Monica Carr when they think homes, community, whether they need to move, sell, buy, rent. I want to be top of mind for that, and those events are huge. And then obviously we do at Christmas, we do Santa in the park. We do our cookie tin delivery, annual cookie tin, which, by the way, in December, we dropped over 900 cookies, right? About 900 probably. And I will tell you, within 30 days, we had 5 listings from that face-to-face connection at the door with the cookies. So I haven't abandoned what got me here, which is the face-to-face and the door knocking, which for me is a big deal because that's where I connect with the families. But then we sprinkle in all the other stuff. And as far as open houses go, we're very known in our farm for our Twilight open houses. We do sushi, sake, and sweets events. And so if I launch a new listing, Wednesday's broker preview, Thursday we'll do the Twilight open house. And we really do that for the neighbors. So they can come see the house, everybody can be a looky-loo, and they're invited to come be a looky-loo. And I get a chance to have wine with them, or sake or sushi, or just, shoot the shit and talk about the market, or talk about their kids or what's happening in the community. So it really brings it down to a personal level. And that's where our business is coming from.
You know what I love, Monica? First of all, you unpacked that so beautifully. And I can just imagine the person right now that literally was pausing and writing, and then looking at like Katie over here on my team, who's like smiling like, I want to go to that Twilight open house, right? Like sushi, sake, etc.
Yeah, we make it fun.
I think we're going to be
I wanted
bookers and
to
pros.
add, I almost forgot, and this is really important. So we leverage these events to get emails, because you said something at an event years ago about focusing on your past client and your sphere. And for me, that is my farm is one leg of that. And I know having the emails, being able to reach them via email, I mean, we'll spend thousands of dollars on mailers that just get chunked in the trash, and email is free. And so what we do when they come to the sushi events, when they come to the ice cream truck events, when they come, and they're trained. I mean, our clients and our homeowners will come up and say, I live at 123 Banana Street and my email is X. And so we have a binder, and when they walk up, they tell us their address. We flip to that page, that street. Okay, is this still your email address? Great. We have like 80% of the emails in our farm.
Wow.
Which is huge. So,
wow.
And then with John on our team as of last year, he does an email marketing campaign every Saturday morning. And we played with it. We did it on Friday. We did it on Saturday. We have a much better open rate. Right now, our open rate is what, 40% open rate.
Outstanding.
And that's pretty good. We're hoping to get a little bit higher than that, but we're learning as we go. So that's been a huge leverage the events to connect with people and get their contact information so that you have a way to reach out to them when you have something of value for them.
So I want to just be clear. What I heard is, obviously, the like entire sort of spring through fall, you're doing one Friday a month ice cream, right? So we're this is like Glenda Baker would be happy. We're killing them with food, right? And then you do multiple movie nights in the park. That sounds like a summertime thing. And then you do the cookie delivery at the end of the year, right? Someone right now is listening going, what's going on with Ferry? We've been talking about digital and Jason Pantana and Reels and, your Google My Business page. But isn't it beautiful? It's the old and the new together. So talk about on the digital side. You started to go down the channel of email. You're sending an email once a month. What am I receiving? Is that for your entire database once a week for your entire database or just for your farm?
So we actually hit the entire database and the farm. So the farm is part of that. And they get our, we do our market update report. So Stephen Thomas does a great job here in Orange County of keeping everybody abreast of the market.
Stephen Thomas.
We send that out. People love it to open it. If we have new listings coming soon, we may send the floor plan, say, hey, check out these new properties that are coming up. So that they have a chance to see inventory and be able to maybe get in line, right? As these homes are getting prepped to go on the market. And then typically we'll do video. We start with a video of the week, whether it's me doing a market update or me giving a past client experience and interview with somebody. So we try to do a short little video at the top so that people will open it and click on it and be involved.
So I'm on your email list, and I remember being back in Orange.
I'm going to pause right there because we're running out of time, but I'm going to share this with you guys. I'm hoping that it gets you motivated to re-engage with your farms or start a new farm because, the listings they're out there if you just go and meet the people. And I love that her approach was, more belly to belly, which is what our job is. I don't know about the sushi and sake. I'm thinking hot dogs and hamburgers or something like that. But I just love her creative ways. And I haven't listened to the whole thing all the way through. But you got Kim, a great resource in Kim to start your farms and find out what those percentages of turnover rates are. And I did like that she mentioned that this year in particular, going back 1 year is not going to be an accurate showing of the turnover rate. It's going to probably be much higher than a normal year. So if you did 5 years and did an average, then that would probably be a good idea for you. And so I was just kind of biding my time for Thomas to come over and talk to us. Come talk to us about these interest rates before we jump on with
With chalk.
Steal your magic chair? The microphone the one right here. Check this out. I feel like a DJ.
Yeah.
So, good morning, everybody. Wanted to address first, I got a lot of feedback on the email that I sent out about the Fed's adjustment to the interest rate. Somebody even asked, they said, Thomas, the interest rate went to 2.25, 2.5? I said, no, that's the Fed's market rate. He said, well, what is the Fed's market rate? I said, so you guys recall in the beginning of COVID when they announced that they were going to slash interest rates to 0%. So for that week after, my phone was just exploding. People wanted loans at 0% and yelling at me, hanging up on me because they heard it on the radio that it was 0% and I must be lying and so on and so forth. Obviously, that wasn't the case. The easiest way I can explain it to you guys is so we all carry credit cards. Most of them carry an adjustable interest rate, say from 14 to 24%. Well, when the Fed slashed the rate down to 0%, that knocked it down to the lowest interest that they could possibly charge, which would be right around 14%. As rates continue to climb, we will see our interest rates start to climb on our credit cards. Then now you'll start to see it peak out again, back up to the 24% rate. So all of that stuff has a trickle down effect to mortgage, not a direct impact. The easiest way to explain that is, so for example, your big banks, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase, all the big guys out there, they're not just doing home mortgages, they're doing multiple different types of credit products. So when interest rates start to go haywire there, they have to, it's like the push down pop-up. They have to make adjustments in other places. So that's the best way I can kind of explain how it correlates directly to mortgage rates. Beyond that, a lot of it is panic, a lot of it is speculation. And as you can see, rates, I was talking to some of you guys, rates were touching like 6%, 6 1/8. We're back down to about 5 1/4, 5.375. So there hasn't been anything really steady holding the rates. What we do see is we still do see it being a challenge in getting people qualified. On average figure to borrow $100,000 now costs about $200 to $300 more than what it did when the rates are at 2.875 or 3 1/4. So it's still pushing a lot of people out. We're not seeing a lot of first-time buyers. We're seeing a lot of people get payment shock because the interest rates are so high. So, but good news with that is that we're starting to see the home sales are really, really starting to slow. And I know it's not always good news, but things have to get worse before they get better, and they are continually getting worse. Month of June, we saw another 5.41% decline in mortgage loan applications. So people are kind of starting to dig their heels in the sand, and now they want to wait. We do see an increase in listings, but we know that a lot of that is FOMO, the fear of missing out. People know that they've missed when they probably could have made a little bit more money. They want to try to take advantage of what they can now. But the thing of it is the homes are not moving the way that they were. They're not getting the 30 or 40 offers, and they're certainly not getting the well over offer price the way that they were anymore. So market is still kind of shifting. I don't even say it's shifting. It's more tumbling right now. We're just kind of waiting for it to land. It's been very difficult in mortgage for those of you guys that kind of follow the financial industry. Everybody's getting laid off right now. Loan Depot, the big banks are laying people off. Better Mortgage laid off a bunch of people. So very, very tough out in the industry. One of the things that I'm kind of thankful for is I work for a very small company. There's only 495 of us nationwide. I know that my position is secure. We continue to make money for our company. I think in a way, being with a smaller organization, it's given us an opportunity to weather the storm. But for you guys, keep in mind, we still do have the swarm campaign going on. And for the difficulties that you folks are seeing out in the market, take 10 minutes to come and sit with me and see if there's a way that I can possibly bring some value to your day-to-day business and maybe help you guys capture that more business or that much more business. Berkshire's #1 goal when they brought in an in-house lender was to really make it easier for you guys. It has certainly not been any easier for me, but they do want to give you guys a tool that is within arm's reach. Somebody that you can reach out, that you can talk to, that's always available. And I think for the most part now, 3-4 months in, I've connected with a lot of you guys, weekends, evenings, holidays. So you guys know that I'm always here and always available to help you. Swarm campaign is a great opportunity to take 10 or 15 minutes and just see how I can potentially help you guys build your business or just bring a little bit of value to it. So we have that going on through September. Don't hesitate to reach out. I'm in the office at least one office a day, 3 to 4 hours a day. We have seen quite a pretty good impact from the swarm campaign. I think I've met with well over a dozen of you guys. So thank you for that. Gotten some good insight on what you guys see from your perspective, been able to offer you guys some benefit to your business as well. So, and that's why I'm always here. Just really want to support you guys and help you. I know that the more I extend, the more I support, the more I'm there for you guys, the more I coach you guys, the more I teach you guys, the more doors it will open up for us all to do business together. So it's really what I'm here for. I don't think I've asked for anything for free yet. It's coming though. Give me time. Other than that, like I said, you guys will always hear me use the word support. That's what I was really given my entire career through finance. And that's why I was able to learn and absorb so much. So definitely happy to teach you guys or coach you guys to anything that I can. So don't hesitate.
Thank you. Perfect timing.
Awesome.
Anybody have any questions for Thomas?
Interest rates.
What are we looking at? Conventional VA, FHA.
Conventional.
I'll get you in right around 5.25.
5.25.
Yes,
Linda?
ma'am.
On an investor, how much more is that interest rate? Like point,
On an investment property,
yeah, an investor buying.
it really just depends if we can even get it done. The market is still not ready to take on investment properties or second homes yet. If they do, we're definitely encouraging them to come in with at least 25% down just to capture a much better interest rate. I'd say if I have to guess, they're probably going to be somewhere in the 6.25%, 6.5% range. But a lot of investors, and so to what I'm still hearing though, a lot of investors are still buying even though the rate's high because number one, they're not making the payment. And they know that as soon as they do, the market shifts and they refinance 3.5%, that's money in their pocket. So
Well, thank you.
you got it. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I see our Murrieta office is jumping on right now. And hi, Karen. Thanks for joining us again this week.
Hey, good morning.
Let's see. We've got 10 additional people. Joe McGowan, I see you're out there. Okay, so let me fix my screen. Hi.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
All right, I'm gonna just pin you here, Karen. And tell us a little bit about what we're gonna learn today from Chalk. It's different than last week.
Yes, last week we talked about the automated listing program, which is the 7-day free campaign that you receive with Berkshire Corporate every time you have a new listing. And then you can extend that if you want to. Today, we're going to talk about Addressable TV or ATV and just give you a little information on that. It's actually probably a shorter presentation because it's pretty straightforward. There's only a few steps, but just to make sure people are aware it's there and the value that's behind it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Oh, wait, let me give you access to share your screen. I always do that.
Thank you.
Okay. Oops, sorry.
It looks like it worked.
There you go.
All right, perfect. All right, so we'll just talk about Addressable TV and what that means, what it is, and where to find it. And it's just another of our tools that you might be interested in to really target your campaigns. For those of you who weren't here last week and aren't sure of what, who Chalk Digital really is, I just want to touch base on it for a minute. We are an international company and we've been working with Berkshire Hathaway since 2015. We're across 11 different countries. We just brought ALP, which we talked about last week, to North America, United States, and Canada just this year. But we've been working with the other offerings with Berkshire for the last 7 years or 6 years. And basically, we are the largest geolocation platform for real estate. And if you're not aware, we are only working with Berkshire Hathaway in the real estate vertical. We have other verticals like automotive and fashion and other things. But in the real estate world, we only work with Berkshire Hathaway. So the advantages are, and I won't bore you with all the numbers that are too mind-boggling, but basically we're reaching 20 billion different data signals processing daily. We've got over 3 million geofences that we're monitoring daily. And we've got 4 different tools that we talk about and use to help you target the best you can to really get the most bang for your buck, basically in a short period of time. ALP was one of them last week. And then of course, this week, we're going to talk about ATV. And again, I already mentioned that we only work with Berkshire and no competition. What is addressable television? Right now, I would say if you go into ATV, you could find already 15 very professional, thousands of dollars spent on it, videos, commercials that Berkshire Corporate has already uploaded in there, or you have the choice to upload your own, and they're constantly bringing in new ones. But what is addressable TV? It's basically two different things. It's over-the-top television as well as connected TV devices. It's a mixture of both of those. What's over the top? Think channels like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, any of those are going to be your channels, which is called OTT, over the top. Connected TV devices literally are things that connect, basically. So like your Xbox, your Apple TV, Roku, those are type of things. And we take both of those and we deliver commercials, either 15 or 30-second commercials that are full high definition quality on those different channels and across those ways. And you can target it with different radius, zip codes, cities, and they are non-skippable commercials. So you know how we all want to fast forward through the commercials and get to the next part. They can't. There's not skippable. And Hulu, or not Hulu, Hulu is already doing it, but Netflix doesn't have paid programming this year, but next year. So your ads will also be on Netflix, which is awesome. Peak primetime delivery. We definitely only do it during peak primetime, meaning there is we do not do it anytime during the sleepy times, basically between midnight, 6 a.m. we do not deliver. It's only during prime time, and we hit the peak times the most. So basically between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then again after work, basically when everybody's home from 5 to 9 or something, but peak times only. And then it gives you an idea how much it is. For 1,000 different ads, you basically are paying less than $50 for a full professional commercial. So let's see, moving on, my computer's, there we go. All right, so basically to give you an idea to how much it costs and how much, basically value you're getting for your dollar, it's only about a nickel per 30-second slot. If you even do the middle campaign package, which is less than $100, you're getting 2,000 full spots, which is basically 16 hours, over 16 hours of yourself on the big screen with your face, your information, and it looks like a professional commercial. And again, so that's only a nickel per 30-second TV slot. So it's pretty simple. It's 3 steps, really. We're just going to enter in our location, choose a commercial, and then how we're going to reach our audience. And so you're going to go to the Resource Center. You'll see Chalk Digital over there on the top left-hand corner, and you're just going to click that as usual. Of course, those are the 4 offerings. You're going to see ATV is the final one over there on the right, and you're just going to hit Get Started. First thing you're going to do is choose your campaign. So if you want the the $50 one for 1,000 different commercials, 2,000 commercials for 100, that's for a month, or you could do 4,000. So basically, you're choosing your package. Then you'll see this different way to figure out how you want to target. So if you look at the top here, you'll see radius, and you'll see a little button off to the right-hand side of the radius. And if you clicked on it, you'll get choices to drop down. You can choose zip codes. You can literally choose a radius, draw a map, how you want to do it. You can pick cities. Of course, you're going to do better the smaller you're targeting, because you're going to be really able to saturate it better if you're choosing a smaller location than if you're choosing a larger one. Then you'll hit next in the corner once you choose how you want to target. And then you'll be given this where you have to name your campaign. It has to have at least 4 characters. And then of course it'll be saved, so you can always refer to it to rerun it later if you choose. Your landing page, we're all on our IT to say, hey, can you put in the HTTPS part? So it's already in there. So you can just start with www, but right now it's not in there. So you do have to write the full thing for your landing page. Either it could be your office one or your personal one. Below, you'll see the different varied TV commercials. So you will click on the TV commercial that you like, that you choose, and then you'll hit next. You'll have the choice of running a banner. If you want to switch the banners, you'll see the top arrow here where you can choose, and there's 4 different banners you can choose from. And the banner, of course, will be along the bottom of the commercial. If you have your own commercial uploaded, then it's likely you won't need a banner or maybe even want it. So you can just click off this little button down here to turn the banner off. And then you can change your headline to whatever you want, finding your dream home, start your new adventure, whatever you would choose. And then you just hit next again. Then it's going to give you the summary of what you've chosen and when it starts, your start date, which you chose, and then all that. And then it'll hit next again. It'll give you the payment option. So you just put in the credit card and of course, hit the little box here that you agree, submit payment, and then you're done. And it's really that simple. It only takes a few minutes. Longest part might be selecting your actual commercial just while you're looking at different ones. So that is, that's the gist. But basically, if you decide you want to go in and check your campaigns and look at your campaigns, you would go into, I don't know if you saw this little corner box in the top corner is My Campaigns or Switch. Switch app means be going from like ATV to ALP or whatever. But you'll hit that button on My Campaigns in that top corner, and then you can edit your campaign. You'll see where they have the little pencils there. If you click on the pencil, it will let you go into the campaign and change it. Maybe you changed your mind and you want to change your headline, or you want to change the campaign itself or whatever. You can change those details in there. If you want to figure out the summary, just hit the I button, and then it'll give you all the campaign details, like start date, if it's active, targeting radius. And then the last is the analytics. So you can click on that to receive the analytics and view them. You will receive these daily emails, again, just like ALP. So you'll get the heat map that shows exactly where people were when they were viewing the ads. It'll give you a breakdown summary again of what kind of device they were on, whether it's the desktop or a mobile phone. And then it'll also show you day to day, like which day did the best, on which date and how many clicks and views, and give you the updated version. And then, of course, we always suggest doing multiple things, because if you're doing print with, online, it's always just a faster, better combination, and you'll get more success with your return ratio. So we always also guarantee delivery. So if you are paying for a certain campaign and we're saying, yeah, you get 1,000 different commercials, if something happens where you stop it, or for some reason it didn't provide that, then we definitely stand behind that, and we'll provide a credit or refund. This is information you probably already have, but if you have any questions, you can always reach out to the Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Customer Success Team. They actually do a really great job, and they're on top of things. And that's their phone number as well as their email support, BHHS support at hsffranchise.com. And then, of course, there's Chalk Digital IT support. So if you have any technical issues, you'll hit support at chalkdigital.com. And then, of course, that's my information. If you have any questions about sales, marketing, or if there's something else, I can help direct you in the right place. And I hopefully didn't go too fast. And then I'm happy to take any questions. One thing I was going to mention too, if you do decide to upload your own commercial, which some of the offices are already doing, there is a little bit of a turnaround time. So it gets sent to compliance first at corporate. Take a look at it, make sure it's all fine, and then get back to us, and then our IT department uploads it. And so that is kind of the process. And so it could take a few days, could take up to a week, but just know that that's a possibility too.
Awesome. So I seen Joe step up to the mic there. Joe, do you have questions? I have a few, but I hogged it last time, so I'll let you go first.
No worries. No worries. Karen, I know there's 4 primary facets of the opportunities we have with Chalk. We've covered 2 now in the last 2 weeks. Could you just do a quick, brief review of the 4 different channels or opportunities and different facets we've got?
Yeah, we've got, actually, let me look really quick. I might have a, let me check. I think I've got a PowerPoint picture that you can look at while I do it. Yeah. All right, let me just see if I can share this with you really fast. So you got something to look at as I show you. All right, can you see this picture?
Yes.
So basically these are the four. So last week we talked about ALP. So that's the automated listing program. That means every time you have a new listing, you will get an automatic email that says, hey, congratulations. And then corporate is paying for you to have 7 days of free advertising, which allows you to have 1,500 ad impressions, basically. And over that 7 days. And then if you so choose to like extend it, then basically it's going to be like $49.95 for another week. And then it just keeps going up from there. And then even if you add another week, that's an additional 7,000 ad impressions. And then you can actually do up to 5 weeks, which is 40,000 ad impressions. Then we've got the ABS, which is the ad builder system. And if you, it is made like supposedly to be very like self-service, easy to use platform. If you go into ad builder system, you'll see there's between 60 to 80 now different campaigns that are in there that you can look at. And some of them you can customize more than others. You customize all of them, but some of them you can even take out some of the pictures and put in your own. They are constantly uploading new ones and taking some of them out. And they're now going to be bringing in more black and white. That's something that's been requested. So corporate said they will go ahead and add some additional black and white ones because most of them are Cabernet. But that's different ones. I always remember that one as kind of how to build your business. So basically that could be how you're going to advertise for an open house, and it can be very specific dates for that open house. And it can be advertising just your brand or your office, or it could be used for recruiting if you're trying to bring in new agents to your office. So that's kind of just like building the business. And then we've got ATM, which is automated target marketing. So that's going to be working with Sage. That's going to be working with your CRM system. There are a few other CRMs that we will be adding but we have Sage right now. But we're happy to integrate with your system. And it's going to be basically using either physical addresses or emails to target, whether it's for recruiting or just, keeping yourself on top of mind for your agents. And then of course, the addressable television, which we talked about today. Hopefully that answered your question a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. I had a question about the commercials for the what we were discussing earlier today. So 2 questions. One of them is, if an agent did their own commercial, have you seen agents make their own commercials around a subject property maybe? Have you seen anything like that? I'm just thinking if we had a very difficult, maybe high-end listing that we wanted to advertise, is that something you've seen?
I have not seen it. I'm sure you can do that. Right now, it's more like they're using it to bring people, like when they get off the airplane or an airport and they're in a more of a destination place, whether that's Vail or somewhere in Bozeman, Montana. It's more like destination where people are buying second, third homes. And so they're using that as bait of like, hey, come talk to us, and using it to, lift up their audience. Their office to the audience.
Like a lifestyle kind of campaign or commercial.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the commercials that are already embedded in the program, are those the same commercials that are available to use, already in the resource center, the general Berkshire Hathaway ones?
I don't know if they're anywhere else. I know if you go into the resource center and you go into ATV, it'll show you 15 different ones, and some of them are like mother and daughter, some of them are pets, some of them are lifestyle change. Like there's a whole bunch of variety across the board. And like I said, they're bringing in new ones. And if you don't see something that you want, then definitely reach out to your customer success team, because that's they're going to be able to talk to marketing and take some of those suggestions, because those all come from them.
The reason I was asking is if they were the same. You talked about like hitting your clientele in different ways. And since we do have the CRM that's built into the resource center as well, if the ads were matching, we might be able to email we
Right.
could double whammy a neighborhood. Like we can email it out to a farm that we may have in that neighborhood and then also do the TV version of it, of the same one. And they might be like, oh my God, this person's all over the place.
Yeah, I
So-
believe there are similar, or if not the same, in ABS, because they've already uploaded, like I said, 60 to 80 different campaigns. And I think those are overlapping with the ATV commercials.
Hmm. One more
And then
question.
also I know they're going back to, they'll go back to the marketing department corporate and say, hey, they'll take a commercial that's already made, that's already in ATV, and then they can just tailor a little bit, a few things off the same one that's already done. And it's way easier for them that's another option.
That's cool. I'm sure this is a yes, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So the analytics that you showed us, I assume that the seller also gets a report? Or
I
do we
believe
just have to go into that drop down to find the report?
I believe that is true, but I don't, now that you mentioned that, I don't remember if I don't think there's a
Oh, I
seller.
guess there wouldn't be a seller. There wouldn't be a seller. Never mind. This is for really personal advertising. So it would just be for us. Never mind.
Yeah, and you'd have to, if it's like you said, for that specific property that you wanted to do, like, then you probably would just share the analytics with them directly.
Okay, I'm done hogging. Anybody else have questions?
Great questions.
I guess not.
Well,
Everybody
if you
good?
think of any other questions, then feel free to reach out to me and email Karen@chalkdigital.com. I'm happy to answer the questions or find out the answers for you. And again, if you have any other things that circle back, then feel free to just reach out to me.
Sounds great. Thank you, Karen, for coming. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me. Everybody have a
You're
great
welcome.
rest of your week.
You too.
All right,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much, Karen.
All right,
Thanks,
bye.
Thanks for hosting, Shannon. Bye-bye.
Of course. I just want to remind everybody, because we had 2 weeks of a very squeezy meeting. So just, I already mentioned Stephen Thomas. I'll send out the link again today. Conference MVP, don't forget to, Lisa Peters sent out an email this week. So if you want to jump on that, it's $425 to get your bulk tickets from her. And that's going to be, of course, in Vegas. So that will be lots of fun. And then I already emailed out you guys the list of what our tech support, what Chris is training on. I think he has quite a few classes today and tomorrow. So jump on those. Anything else I'm missing, Joe?
No, that was great. Yeah, the Stephen Thomas convention training. Awesome. Perfect.
All right, guys, then I'm going to call it a day, and I'll be in Temecula tomorrow and half a day on Friday. I'll be in Menifee the other days, always on my cell if you need me, and on Zoom. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. Let me stop the recording so you could all talk again.
Thank you, Shannon.